I was so disturbed by this that I lost 5 pounds that week, y'all.
That's wild. What's up, everybody?
y'all.
Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking us out again. This week's episode, we're addressing a question you guys asked us about our love story. So we're gonna go ahead and share it on camera. We've never done that before, I don't think.
Nope.
So first time for everything.
Yep. So if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss a video. And when you subscribe, make sure you leave us a comment saying, I subscribed. And we'll be happy to reach out and thank you for joining the family. As y'all know, every week we shout out one of our faithful subscribers who's a positive member of the Brawley Story community. So this week we want to thank Pamela Berry.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you so much for all your support and for always leaving us a kind comment.
The way it started,
Before our first date, there were so many dreams that people
true.
on his side of the family had, people on my side of the family had, not just my twin sister's dream about matching us, but all of our family members started having dreams that we got married.
Yep.
And then my sister had a dream that I was engaged at her wedding, which was planned for what?
September of that year.
Yeah, September of that year. This was
May. We were together. This is May.
Yeah.
And I remember because Mayweather and Pacquiao were about to fight. And I was greatly disappointed because I missed the fight that day. It just, everything went wrong. That's another story.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
I actually saw that fight.
I know.
My brother had a fight party, so
I was quite disappointed. I had a fight party, but I couldn't make it on
I
time.
was there for the food.
Yeah, I missed my own fight party. It was bad, yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It was. So we're both pastors' kids. It just so happens that our parents know each other. We never saw each other, never interacted. And it just so happened that, I was single and looking for a wife. And I said, I really want to find my spouse. And I was saving myself for marriage at the time. And I was just thinking, you know what? I need to find me a wife because it's getting hot. I've been really trying, baby. I'm tired of waiting. I started going out on more and more dates and trying to find people. And I just decided I'm not going to have any more girlfriends. I want to find a wife. So I'm not going to lock myself into a relationship right now because I want to know that if I commit to you, you're the only person. This is it. You're the last one. So I kept my options open. I would tell the people I was dating, hey, you need to keep your options open until I decide, or until we both decide that this is the right thing for us to do and move forward. So I was dating other people, was talking to different people, trying to figure out who is the best fit for me as a spouse. And a few years prior, I'd even written out a list, had like 80-something items of what I wanted.
Items, y'all.
And it was wild. I mean, I wrote down every single thing I could think of. I mean, it took me a long time. I kept adding to the list. And then I would date a person and I would be like, I don't want that. So what's the opposite of that? I'll write that and add it on the list. And so I started being very specific with what I wanted, and I was praying about it, and I'm sure I've even fasted about it. I can't recall exactly, but I'm pretty sure I did. Simultaneously, my wife, she was coming out of, she had already been out of a previous engagement, I think 2 years before. It was 2 years before. So she'd been out of an engagement. She'd been by herself for, some time.
So I was talking to God like, I am not going to date anybody else unless I know for sure it's my husband, because I'm not going through this again. So I was very content in my singleness, and I was in a very happy place, and I started hearing God's voice just telling me that my husband was coming soon, and actually describing his personality to me. Like, I actually have proof in a journal, y'all, where God was describing his personality before I even knew him.
Thank God he did, because I need extra grace. I got one of those personalities. So he had to describe it to me.
Finally admits it.
You do too. I know you think you're perfect. You think you're perfect. But needless to say, praying about it.
You said it, not me.
I was dating one other person I was strongly considering, but I just felt like something was missing. Like this is not God's best for my life. And had a long sit-down conversation with my brother and my sister about it, and I was just saying how if this is it, I'm very disappointed because this is not really what I expected. Shortly thereafter, my wife's twin says that she has a dream.
From my perspective, one day, my twin sister came to my room in the morning. She said, let me see that list of things that you want in a husband. And she says, check, check, check. That's it. I found your husband. So then she proceeds to tell me about this dream she had about my husband, where she was standing next to her fiance. She was engaged at the time. She was standing next to her fiance, and she turned his head towards me and said, what do you think about Christy?
Which is weird because her twin had only seen me probably 2 or 3 times in life and did not really know me from Adam, but just had that dream. And that was weird. Like I said, maybe a week or 2 before, I just got done complaining to my sister, my brother, my mom, about how I was like, man, I'm really disappointed with this process. It was not long after that her twin reached out to my sister to try to connect me and my wife, soon-to-be wife. I told my sister, I said, what do you think about getting together with Christy? Kirsty, her twin, wants to see if this could be a fit. And I said, I mean, I'm open. You know, still a little in disbelief and not sure how things were going to work out. And so they set up a family game night. Now, remember, our parents know each other, and my sister was friends with her sister. So I was open. But
it's like everybody knew each other but us.
Yeah, yeah. So I was open. And how are you feeling when they set that up?
Nervous, very nervous, because I had not dated in a couple of years. And I was not looking forward to the process of dating.
So I was cool, but we went over to their house, did a game night, and we played Taboo, and our families tried to make it where we matched up against each other. And I played along with it, and you know, we matched up and whatnot. And she gave me no love. No shine.
I didn't want to seem
She
thirsty,
didn't look at
y'all.
me too long. She was like running away from me, literally, not literally running, but like if I came into a space and she was in it, she exited.
They have been doing so much talking, y'all. I did not want to look thirsty because I wasn't.
But that kind of defeated the purpose, right? We both knew we were supposed to be hooking up and see if you're interested. She backed out. So anyway, a week later, her twin calls me up on the phone. I'm at work, and she's like, so what do you think of Christy? I was like, I mean, she's real beautiful. She's good looking, but I don't think she's interested. And that's cool.
My sister was like, I assure you she is.
She did. She gave me this whole rundown. She was like, listen, I know her schedule. She's free
on Sunday.
On Sunday. Well, she was like, you know, this days work best. I was like, nah, that's not going to work for me. So then she was like, she's negotiating on her twin's behalf and tells me she's free this Sunday. Can you do this Sunday? So I said, all right. She gives me her number. She's like, call her right now. So I called and I got the voicemail. So
my twin sister ran back in the office giggling, and then my phone started ringing. So I was a nervous wreck and didn't answer. And my twin picked up my phone and called him back and put the phone up to my face. So that's how that happened.
Yeah, it was super annoying. So I was sitting there like, all right. Well, I'm very direct, so I just got to the point. I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm doing well. Listen, you want to go out on Sunday, you know, do X, Y, and Z?
He was very direct.
Yeah, I'm very direct. I don't really do small talk very well, so I just got straight to the point, which was weird because she didn't really know me, but I just got to the point. I did what I knew how to do. And she was like, yeah, okay. And start asking all these questions and try and talk to me.
So we went to the fair for our first date, even though he says that he doesn't ride rides.
I don't ride rides.
But I was so nervous, I didn't even want to go by myself. So his sister and my sister came. Now, mind you,
I quickly dismissed them both.
It didn't matter because he ditched them as soon as we got there.
Quickly dismissed them both.
But we hit it off, and we had them out till what, 2 in the morning?
Probably later than that.
And
2 or 3.
they had to end up begging us to go home.
She said our date went well, but I could tell she was like not.
That was the final conversation that frustrated me. But overall, the date went well.
It did. We had laughs and giggles and.
We went out the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that.
She got mad at me when I tried to hold her hand.
How did I get mad? I was confused because in my mind, only players hold hands on the first date. So
Not
I'm
a
like,
player, just trying to make a connection.
So I'm like, well, what's next? You gonna try to kiss me on the first date? Like, I'm not that type of gal. Honestly, I would have written him off if it were not for his family vouching for his character. Because I was like, this brother's a little too smooth for me.
You gotta be a little smooth. You gotta have some game.
He was a little too smooth.
Yes.
It was throwing me off. It was confusing.
So the next day we went out, and it was a much better experience. Again, her twin reaches out and says, "Hey, Brandon, do you want to go out with, Christy again?" I was like, I don't know if Christy's gonna want to go out. She wasn't really feeling the stuff I was saying. She's like, "I'm taking care of her responsibility tonight. I'm gonna handle that. She's free. Call her now." So I think, or maybe did you call me? I don't know. We reached somehow or another. We connected again.
I wasn't planning on reaching out first. I don't do that. So my sister was like, "You need to swallow your pride. You need to let him know you're available because you told him you're busy."
We had a great time.
But sometimes first impressions can be deceiving. So honestly, I'm a very strong believer in people allowing their family and trusted community to help them in the process when they know you and they know what you need, they know what you like. And sometimes we can't see things ourselves. So I was very grateful that even though there were some things that could have given me the wrong impression the first couple of days of our dating, but honestly, I knew he was the one by that point. So I was willing to let it go. But everybody was having dreams that we got married. And then I was asking God to give me confirmation because I didn't want to just go off of a dream. People sometimes see what they want to see, hear what they want to hear. Mm-hmm. So after the family game night, which was a week before our first date, every day I was hearing God's voice that Brandon is your husband, Brandon is your husband. I was so disturbed by this that I lost 5 pounds that week, y'all.
That's wild.
Because I had so many butterflies in my stomach that I could not eat. So I was so relieved when I woke up Sunday morning and God had finally given me my confirmation that this is your husband. Like, be at peace. Because I didn't even want to go on the first date. Like,
she was gonna ditch me.
Thinking that I didn't want to go on the first date if I wasn't sure. Because like I said, I wanted the next person that I dated to be my husband. And that's what I was believing for, because I was like, I am done with heartache. So God answered, and I know it's not always like that, but God did that for me. I even asked one of my older sisters, Nielle, to ask God if the person that just asked me on a date was my husband. And I told her that I already agreed to the date, but I was going to back out if I did not have confirmation that he was really my husband. And I did not tell her who it was. And mind you, this whole week, God has been telling me, Brandon is your husband, Brandon is your husband. So I talked to Nielle on Friday, 2 days before the date was planned for. And on that Saturday, the following day, I called her and I said, have you heard from God yet? I need to know. I need to know now. And she said, yes, God said, I already told you. and said to trust the wise counselors in your life. And that was further confirmation. But I don't normally have symbolic dreams to my knowledge, and that night then I had a dream that was confirming through the Bible and among family that he was the one. And the last thing I saw before I woke up that Sunday morning was standing in front of the Bible with a family member, and that person said, "Now I'm sure," and then I said, "Now I'm sure too." And I woke up and all the butterflies were gone, and I just had so much peace.
Everybody was saying, y'all supposed to be together. I had a dream. Or I had a dream. I'm not into that. I was like, I don't care what your dream was. And I'm not interested in whose dream. Now, she didn't tell me she had her dream, and I didn't know that my parents were going behind my back talking to her sister and all this stuff, trying to set us up and coordinating and scheming.
Scheming?
I didn't know about that, but I just knew that I was not interested in any of that. I'm a very analytical person, and I had to think, and I had to pray on it, and I wanted to make a good decision because, you know, marriage is a lifelong commitment, and I don't play that. You know, I'm not going to be stuck to somebody I don't like or don't want to be with. And I was talking to some of my friends about it. I was trying to evaluate, you know, my 80-something items. In her, I'm trying to see, like, is she kind? Okay, she's kind. Is she genuine? Okay. Does she laugh? Think I'm funny? Okay. Does she look good? How's her body look? So, all right. So we went out every night almost that week. I think except for maybe 1 or 2 nights. The whole week we saw each other, and we would stay out all night talking. And so after the second date, we were talking about, you know, how we envisioned our lives and how we envisioned our family and what kind of environment we saw in a home. It was just really deep conversation, and I would, you know, share what I saw, and she would just jump in and kind of like picturing herself in that same picture. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And meanwhile, she already knows I'm her husband, but I wasn't quite sure. I was trying to hold out and just evaluate and make a good decision. And then it dawned on me, one night we were talking after watching 2 of her favorite movies. One of them was Beyond the Lights, and the other was The Notebook. I'd never seen either one. I'm not one for romance movies like that. But she invited me over, cooked me a meal, also on the list. You know, had me to watch these 2 movies with her, and I watched them, and then we had conversations again, and, you know, and talked all night. And we were just talking and just totally intrigued by one another. And on my ride home, I remember it was an hour-long ride home, you know, it just clicked for me. I'm like, you know what? This girl is the one for me. And it was just, I was praying to the Lord about it, and I was reflecting on what was going on. I was like, but I don't know, have I gone through all of the 80-something items? And so, you know, I prayed to the Lord, and he reminded me of something. There's one quality in particular that was on my list. The Lord said, if that one's there, then they're all there. And so I just went with it. And I, you know, let the other little girl go, and that didn't go well.
Real quick, he never went on another date with that girl.
I never did go on another date with that girl. I had just let her go. And, you know, of course, that was dramatic. And I understand why. But, you know, I let her go, and I knew this was going to be my wife. So I told my family, I said, okay, I'm going to marry this girl. I'm going to marry Christy. And so I said, I'm not doing the girlfriend thing, though. For me, that's not what I want. So I needed another way to signify who she was to me. So I got her this necklace along with a bracelet and took her out to eat at a, you know, local restaurant here in Atlanta. Went out for dessert late, you know.
At Cafe Intermezzo.
This is the night. It's a beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, very romantic.
Yeah. For those of you here in Atlanta, Cafe Intermezzo. And so we had a good time. She was nervous as could be. I don't even know why, but she was nervous. I gave her the gift. I didn't even know she liked it. Told her I wanted to marry her. And she just was acting so shy and nervous. And I was like, was this a mistake? But then she loosened up later on through the night, and she made it very clear that she knew that she was going to marry me, and she was so happy to be with me.
The rest is history. We literally didn't sleep until we got married.
So that was in May By July, we were engaged. And by December 5th, 2015, we were married. That was one of the best days of my entire life. We've been rolling together ever since. That's our story. It only took us a week, but I was not expecting that at all. But I'm grateful.
Oh, and we did wait until we were married before consummating the marriage.
That's correct. We actually we married as virgins, both of us. That was unusual too. That's another reason why I was burning. Lord, I want to hold it, but...
Ladies, if you hold out, you'll get married a little faster.
Yeah, a lot faster.
Engaged in 2 months, married 6 months.
You had to go on and had some things to handle. So anyway, that's our story. Thanks for listening and tuning in. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode of the Brawley Story. Just answering you guys' question about our love story. Now you know. And it was an interesting ride. And it's still been interesting ever since. We're grateful to be together. But anyway, if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon.
And if you subscribe, make sure to leave us a comment saying, I subscribed, and we will personally reach out and thank you for joining the family. Until next time, y'all.
Peace.